The desert is hot, that's a fact. But other than being hot, what do I think about when I hear the desert? Well, I think about cactus, I think about cowboys, and I think about Mexicans with sombreros. Welcome back to Hydonso region, my name is Mads and we are on a quest to remake them all. And in today's episode, we're gonna create Cactus Pokemon. They were first made in 2001, looking like an average drawing of cactuses playing guitars and having hats. I think they're pretty cute. They were updated in 2003, not much had changed, maybe a little bit more defined features and a bigger mustache on the last evolution. In 2005 they got a personality. I really like the first and second stage, I think they're quite solid design. However, the final one looking quite cool, it tries to be a lot of things at once. So definitely cactus, cowboys and music and farming seems to be the theme. Taking all of that into consideration, let's make the 2023 version. As you can see, Gurkmir has been pretty much the same the whole way. However, I will not give him hands. He's actually a cucumber and I want to make his hat into the cucumber flower. And I always found it interesting how cucumbers looks like cactuses without spikes. And as a kid I really loved cucumbers and I even said that I want to make a cucumber bar. Another inspiration for its name originally was Gurkan. You see, in Norwegian, agurk means cucumber. However, Gurkan is a Turkish name and means son-in-law. I used to do basketball and I met this boy named Gurkan and he smelled so bad. So bad, in fact, that I decided to name my Pokemon Gurkan because it was so similar to agurk. This didn't impact its design too much, but it's a funny story about the creation behind this Pokemon. However, I ended up calling it Agurkmir, meaning cucumber in Norwegian, and farmer. Agurkmir, the cucumber Pokemon. Grass type. Ability, thick fat and water absorb. Hidden ability, chlorophyll. Dex entry. Agurkmir is a careful and carefree Pokemon. They like to tend to their crops. However, sometimes they end up in a staring contest with Snowboy that can last for days. They are 96% water and it uses its straw as bullets if it needs to defend itself. Their habitat is the desert and fields. The shiny is a reference to its previous colorings. What do you think about this little guy? Quite cute, isn't it? I feel like he looks like a Gen 1 Pokemon. But let's evolve it. Agurkmir levels up at level 26 into Mellow Cactus. One thing I knew straight away was that I didn't want its spikes to be a mess like in its previous versions. Instead, I wanted to imitate cowboys and hair. This means that Mellow Cactus has a lot less spikes than its previous designs, but I think it works quite well. I also wanted to focus quite a lot on the music aspect, but I wanted its pose to look like it's dancing or it's singing. Its name Mellow Cactus is an actual cactus and it means melon cactus. But I thought it could also work as Melody Cactus, which I found quite clever. Its hat is obviously a flower. It could also work as a sun hat, referencing its farmer inspiration. And I do like how it looks like he's wearing overalls or some sort of jacket. Mellow Cactus, the cactus farmer Pokemon. Grass type. Ability, thick fat and water absorb. Hidden ability, soundproof. Dex entry. Mellow Cactus are known for its beautiful singing. It's a favorable Pokemon to have in the field for growth and keep bug and bird Pokemon away. Mellow Cactus has a relaxed nature, but are hard workers. However, they get wild in the presence of their enemy Icelinger. Their habitat is the desert and in the fields. Its shiny is a reference to its previous designs. It takes more an autumn coloring, but it's also referencing its previous evolution when it comes to color. I like how different these Pokemon are compared to like Cacnea and Ferrothorn, going away from what we would normally associate with Cactus. It really shows how many different ways you can take a design or an ID. I really like the concept behind this Pokemon. What do you think? Maybe you will prefer its final evolution. Mellow Cactus evolves once it defeats 30 Icelingers into Sheractus. Cactus was a little bit more difficult to create than its previous evolutions, and I didn't want to take too much inspiration when it comes to its body from its previous designs. It needs to look like it's capable of taking down villainies, or at least give it a fair fight. And since it's now a sheriff, it doesn't focus on farming and it doesn't focus on music anymore either, because it needs to protect its city from the villains. And just like I did with the snowman cowboys, I gave Cactus its own weapon that it can use to throw at its enemies instead of using a gun. Focus way more on the cowboy aspect, and as well took inspiration from Mexican clothing and of course the mustache. Instead of giving it the kind of hollowed out eyes that its previous evolution has, I decided to go for a more comic hero eyes mask type eyes. I think that works very well because it looks like a hero. And of course I also went with loads of spikes. It makes it look like a masculine hairy man, which is perfect. Cactus, the sheriff Pokemon. Grass fighting type. Ability thick fat and sand veil. Hidden ability bulletproof. Dex entry. Cactus is the result of protecting its community from Icelinger. They often end up in standoff with villainies that last for months. This is a problem, as this means that it will not be able to protect the community from Icelinger's repeated assault. This often leads to the community having multiple Cactuses in their community. They fire their bomb spikes with great accuracy. Habitat is desert and field. The shiny is taking inspiration from more cactus flowers, but also more Mexican clothing colors. I'm really happy with how Cactus ended up. I get massive dad vibes from him. I feel like it balances all the different tropes that I wanted to use quite well. He looks like a hero, but also kind of like an anti-hero, and I like that. What's your thoughts about Cactus? And here they are, all three of them. Which one is your favorite and why? My favorite is definitely Cactus. It turned out exactly how I wanted it to look. And of course we need to ask the question, which side are you on? Are you on the snowman side or the cactus side? Fight in the comments which one is the best. Here is a hint for an upcoming video. What could it be? Put your theories in the comments. And since you're down there either way, you should definitely subscribe and like the video. If you haven't yet, you need to watch the previous episode where we make snowman cowboy Pokemon. Maybe you're curious about the regional birds of the Hydonso region? Check out this video. You can also find me on other social media platforms under the name Hydonso. Thank you so much for watching, and I see you in the next video when we're gonna recreate them all. Mads out.